Shalom, shalom. This is the brother Evan from GMS London Forecasters, coming to you with a lesson in the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Excuse the way I sound, just a little bit under the weather. And yeah, this is a little bit of an impromptu lesson. So yeah, I'm just going to try and get through this as quickly as possible and just get some scriptures, man. So yeah, job losses, man. If you're paying attention to the news, there's a lot of job losses going on out there right now. You know, these a lot of companies that are facing administration and whatnot, or just that can't afford, or have year-on-year losses, man. I'm not going to go too deep into it because I just really want to get to the scriptures, man. But yeah, it's showing you the signs of the times, man. So it says I'm just going to read these headlines here. Look, so you've got in fact, let me see if I can go into them. So Sainsbury's embarks on major in-store shake-up, putting 2,000 jobs at risk. And you might not think 2,000 jobs is a lot, man, but that's 2,000 people that are out of work, man. And when the market is so poor for work and inflation is gonna start going crazy, it's not putting people in a good place, man. It says chain axes 200 cafes and 34 hot food counters plus 54 bakeries amid new cost-cutting drives. The companies need to cut the cost, man. And you would have thought these companies are making money hand over fist. But this is all the will of the Heavenly Father, man, because things have to go really bad, right? There's prophecies to come, man. You got Jacob's trouble, you got the MOTB, you got World War III, man. You got all these prophecies that are going to come into place. Things have to, plagues and famines, man, pestilence, that's all going to come into play, man. All right. It says Sainsbury's will close 200. All right, I read that part. Oh no, let me read that. It says Sainsbury's will close 200 in-store cafes and 34 hot food counters next month as part of a big shake-up that puts about 2,000 jobs at risk. On Tuesday, the second largest supermarket chain briefed affected cafe and counter staff on closure plan and promised to prioritize them for vacant roles. So, it says Sainsbury's chief executive Simon Roberts. I think that guy's been a chief exec for some time now, man. I used to work for that company back in the day, like a long time ago now. I worked for them for a long time, and I swear that's the same guy, man. That's how long he's been sitting at the top of that, the top of that pyramid, man. At the top of that food chain. He said it said that it has been a difficult decision to close the cafes, and said the company would support them any way we can. We understand that this is very unsettling for our colleagues, but we must keep adapting our business to make sure we are offering customers the best possible food and drink at affordable prices. There's nothing to do with that, man. Excuse me. So let's just read the next one up. And these are UK-based companies, man. Excuse me. These are UK-based companies, man. So this is just what's happening here. And this is the name but a few. It says UK chip maker ARM to cut up to 1,000 jobs after $40 billion sale collapses. Company says most of redundancies will be in UK and US after Nvidia takeover falls through. So someone needed to buy this place out, man, because they were going down anyway. Now it appears that it's going to happen anyway, man. It says ARM is planning to cut up to 15% of its workforce. The UK computer chip maker has said just over a month after the collapse of its $40 billion or £30 billion sale to its US rival Nvidia. The Cambridge-based company said most of the job losses, totaling up to about 1,000 roles, would be in the UK and US. ARM employs more than 6,500 people worldwide, including 3,000 in the UK. So there's another, this all mounts up, man. You got 2,000 jobs here, 3,000 jobs there, and it's happening there. And not to mention all the people that went out of business during this whole C-19 business, man. That's that so-called middle class who were able to have their own businesses, man. And then you have this one here. It says P&O Ferry sacked all 800 crew members across entire fleet. It says Unions brand move scandalous with jobs axed without notice and agency workers lined up to staff vessels. I remember when I was young, man, I worked for a company. I'm going to name it. But, this company was going under, man. And for 2 weeks, they didn't even pay us, man. 2 whole weeks. But we had to still go to work on the chance that, we would get our pay, man. Excuse me. Salakia. But yeah, man. So you never know, man. Like when shit is gonna hit the fan, man. You never know. It said the leading UK ferry operator, P&O Ferries, has sacked 800 British crew across its entire fleet after stopping all its sailings on Thursday. Unions called on the government to halt what is called a scandalous betrayal, with P&O planning to use cheap agency staff to operate its ships. So all these businesses, man, they're not even fit to run anymore, man. They're trying to find alternate ways of keeping going, man, And these are the signs of the times, man. All right. There's going to be a lot more of this. A lot more job losses, crazy hyperinflation, people hitting the streets, man. And you'll find that you're going to have people that were safe and secure finding themselves out of work, man, on the streets, begging. There were stories about women losing their jobs in the whole pandemic business, doing sex work, man. All right, so that's the levels you're talking about. That's the future, man. All right, that is going to get hard out here, man. Remember this basically this WEF, they don't want people to have jobs, man. They want the people to be reliant on the government forces, man. All right, their motto is you will own nothing. Right, you will own nothing, but you'll be happy, man. All right, paraphrasing it. They don't want you to own anything, man. They want you to be under them. All right. So I'm just gonna get into the scriptures, man. This is 1 Thessalonians 5:1. It says, but of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Right? And I'm not, obviously I'm not talking about that penultimate moment when Yahushua returns, man. But there's a line in here. So it says, verse 3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right? That whole peace and safety, man. Right? That is not guaranteed and it never has been guaranteed, but especially in these times now, man. All right. So these are signs, man. We're supposed to be diligent on these signs, man. We're supposed to be looking out for these things, man. And ever more so now, they're getting more stronger, man. All right. It's let me get I've got a couple more I want to get. Excuse me. Right, so Ecclesiastes 12:1 says, remember now thy creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. And that's the times now. People aren't really, you got some people trying to keep it alive, man. But ultimately, if people know what time we're living in, man. All right. People are starting to despair, man. You got the people worried about whether this whole Russia-Ukraine thing is going to escalate into a world war, man. People worrying about petrol prices, food prices, being earning enough at their job, or even having a job, as we just read. It says, while the sun or the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds return after the rain, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. Excuse me. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low, and he shall rise up at the voice of the bird, and the daughters of music shall be brought low. So times of despair, man. Jobless, man. All right. No work. All right. Struggling to make ends meet, putting food on the table, feeding your children. All this is coming, man. All this is coming. Remember the scriptures talk about famines and pestilence, man. All right, that's all to come. It's not written in the scriptures for the sake of it. It's written for for future prophecy, man. And we're in those future times now, man. And on a side note, remember the prophets and the disciples, man. They knew about this, and they were told, and they feared those times, even way back then. Why? Because they knew that they were going to be coming back in these times, man. All right, that's why Esdras feared the visions, man. All right. Right. Am I in the right place? Once, like, you just bear with me. No, hold on. Let me just go back to. Let me try. Okay, let me. In fact, we can read this anyway. We can read this, man. I'll try and think of what I was trying to get whilst I'm doing it. 2 Ezra 9:1 says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made, right? So these are the beginnings, man. All right, it says, therefore when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, right? And why are there going to be uproars, man? Esau's going to come down, with that great wrath, man, trying to control the people. People are going to be out of work and not be able to feed themselves or their children or their wives or whatever, or pay the rent or heat the house. These energy bills are going up crazy now, man. Esau's literally out here taking the piss now. And certain people are looking to, pay an extra £400 a year on electricity bills, man. While these fat cats, these fat energy bosses are creaming up all these bonuses year in, year out, man. They're mocking the people, man. And that is why these uproars are going to be coming about as well. Verse 4 says, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning. All right. For like as all that is made in the world have a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. So the end is manifest. All right. I'm pretty sure what I wanted was in you know what? You know, that's just how the spirit works sometimes, man. Right, no, this is it. 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 2 Ezra 6 and 18, it says, and it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. And I will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the afflictions of Zion shall be fulfilled, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished. This world is going to be vanished away, man, because it's wicked, right? Then will I show these tokens. The book shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall all see together. And the books have been opened, man, because now we understand. Remember, we're in the times now, man. The scriptures has never been opened up like this, and never been spoken about in this way, man. Right, and that's why all these Christians and that are bugging out, because they can't understand how we breaking down these scriptures, man. And just to make it clear, that's all through the Spirit, man. It's not because we're these amazing men who are, the Spirit is what's been able to teach our elders, man. All right, going way back, King Marshall, Priest Ariel, High Priest Ariel, and all them great men, down to the apostles of today, Apostle Tahaga Bar, Rukar Ramlov, them men there, then and they filtered that teachings down to us, man. All right, and they've had to go through the breakdowns and correct the breakdowns, and then bring out the they might come at the breakdown and it's a bit off, and then they they go over it in the Spirit. The Lord put the Spirit on it to to put it back out in the correct way, man. And so now we're here being able to break all these prophecies down, man. It says, and the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The woman with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up. So there's going to be miracles happening, man. For those of you who claim to be Israelites but don't believe in miracles. It says, and suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. Yeah, so, those sown places unsown, man. That's empty. That's, places without workers, man. It takes, in a field, it takes sowers to sow, man. And if there's no sowers, then the place will appear unsown. Simple. It says the full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And that you see that, man. If you just look in the right places on the internet, man, you'll see there's places, there's supermarkets and whatnot that have empty shelves, man. Because they can't get the food in for whatever reason, whether or not they can't, the inflation is mad on the food, or people are buying up the food because they're worried about the times, or sanctions now. Sanctions are stopping things coming in and out of countries. Right? It says, and the trumpet shall give a sound which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid. Right? And at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Whosoever remaineth from all these that I told thee shall escape and see my salvation and the end of your world. Right, that's all I got to read on that anyway. So yeah, man, you get the point, man. It's like they're keeping this under wraps, man. It's like if this media was righteous, right, they'd be reporting on the damage that these devils that are in charge are doing, man. Now, all these businesses going now, all these people that are going to be hitting the streets, man. You look at some places in Babylon, man. It's crazy, like, it's crazy. You see people just bugged out on the streets, like rows and rows of people, you know, jobless, drug addicts, alcoholics, the lot. That place is done. And so is everywhere else that's, you know, in league with it, man. All right? This place is coming to an end, man. So, yeah, man. This is the beginnings of woes, man. All right? So, yeah, that's all I got. That's all I got on this lesson. Lord willing is edifying. Once more, give all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well. And peace and blessings to you, Arkham, out there doing this work in the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Lord willing, this was edifying. And with that, I'll say Shalom.